Right, people, what's good? Welcome. All right, you see the title of the video, right? Your DM is trapped. And I'm here to tell you what they're gotta do to get out of the trap and what's gonna, if they can't avoid it, keep them in the trap. Okay? All right? I'm letting it loose today. I'm letting everybody know what's going on with the DM in the situation. Okay? Okay. How y'all doing though? Huh? Enough about me, right? Enough about what I got going on. Of course we're gonna get to the reading momentarily, but how y'all doing, huh? Give me a 1 if you can hear me. Give me a 2 if you can hear me really well. I still have yet to be able to pull it up. So help me out. Okay. All right. Boom. All right. Now, what I absolutely do not want y'all to do, right? Because this is not the correct energy, right? What I absolutely do not want happening is any freaking out, right? Because of the title. Yes, the DM is in a trap. This is nothing new to you, okay? I'm just gonna explain why it's such a trap and why they're so ensnared is because they're it's a voluntary trap. They are building the walls themselves, and it's such a crazy thing to say, but to have experienced it and to have been the person putting up the walls at one point in my life, and now those same walls I'm working on breaking down so that I can let the spirit flow and I can let love flow. Beforehand, I was building walls to keep people out. And what I was keeping people out from was seeing what I thought was a flaw. And what I view as a flaw was me as an individual. And I was trying to keep people away from that. And in that same regard, because I was keeping people away from me, I was keeping everything away from me. I was keeping life itself away from me. Again, because of thoughts of unworthiness, thoughts of shame, not having it figured out, whatever it was supposed to be, right? What figured it out by the point it was supposed to be figured out at. And it was just a lot of heaviness and a lot of guilt surrounded around my entire life. And that's what caused me to put myself in a trap of not letting anybody in. And it was almost the end of me. But then I got the call from the Spirit of Truth. Right? That was the moment when my tower moment occurred. That was the time when I had nowhere else left to go. Right? I was at my wit's end, as people would say. And it was just, I can't even say what it was in particular. It was a series of things. I was on a hunt. I was on a hunt, and that hunt led me out of the trap. Right? The trap that we're talking about today, the trap that the divine masculine and the unawakened stage is caught in by nature. Some of you know it as the dark night of the soul. Some of you call it a trap. Some of you call it part of their cycle with being with their karmic. Some of you, you know, there's many different names for it, right? There's many different names. But at the end of the day, it is some place that has to be moved from in order for the individual to progress and become their ultimate self. Okay? So today we'll discuss what exactly the trap looks like, and we will discuss what's going to keep the divine masculine in the trap and what's going to help them get out of the trap. Thank you so much for being here. Like the video on the way in. All right. Now first I want to go here. Then we'll go kind of towards the bottom there, top, here. All right, then we go bottom here, top there. Me, meow, me, meow, and okay. All right, that looks good. Right, and then let's do another shuffle-luffle. Another shuffle-luffle. All right, where are all my people from? Where are all my participants at? Represent your sign, represent your city, represent your side. Represent your signs, I'm an Aquarius. I got Capricorn in there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some people say that's like mixing lava and fire. No, I just made that up on the spot. But people do tell me that I'm weird for having those signs. So, you know, it is what it is. I ain't ashamed. You know what I'm saying? All right. Cool beans. I don't even know how this is going to play out yet. All I know is we're going to talk about what's keeping the divine masculine, what's going to keep the divine masculine in the trap, what snares they have to avoid in order to get out of the trap. All right? So let's see how they play out, see how these cards lay out. Here we go. First and foremost, can I just say I appreciate y'all for being here. Y'all could have been anywhere with anybody doing anything, but y'all decided to be here, picking up this information that I'm delivering from the spirit of truth, from my deepest part of my spirit to the deepest part of your spirit. I appreciate you being here. Welcome. Let's begin. Hi, how you doing? An important achievement: self-discipline, willpower, public recognition. Very first thing that comes to mind is the second thing: self-discipline and willpower. This is what it's going to take in order for the divine masculine to break free of their trap. Now, again, as I was explaining my part of the story as what I understand the trap to be, and it being the fact that I built the walls around me myself energetically, it made me feel as though I was controlling my world, right? At that point, that was the most alchemy I could manage given my skills and my environment and the decisions I had made up until this point. So the fact that I could keep people away and feel safe felt like I was making good decisions for myself, because I thought that my best move at this point in time was to save people from me, right? At this point, I had thought that I was a lost cause. In my mind, I was defeated. I had lost all of my zeal to move forward in any capacity that would positively reflect an ambassador of the kingdom. I was not doing what I was supposed to do, period, point blank. And I had no drive in me. And I knew that that individual is not an individual that somebody needed to be around, let alone somebody like my divine feminine. So with this raw honesty, I'm confessing to you that I had a complete lack of self-discipline and negative willpower. All the willpower I could muster was to keep people at what I thought was a safe distance. But all that did was keep me in an echo chamber of my own thoughts and self-pity and revolving negative self-talk, self-deprecating images in my mind. It was a really dark space. And again, my best move that I thought I could do for people, right? And this goes times 1,000 for my divine feminine because of my divine feminine sensitivity to my energy. And a lot of you are aware of what I'm talking about. Y'all know how sensitive y'all can be to different energies and flow. You can see things that people aren't saying. You can see things that people aren't willing to reveal. And you can see emotions before people can even formulate that they're feeling the emotion. So in this regard, I wanted to be as far away from that type of power as possible, because I knew I had none of that in that capacity at that point in time. So I knew that on a scale that I was greatly outweighed and not pulling my weight. And this is what caused me to draw up that force field to push people, plus again times 1,000, because of the power of the divine feminine to see beyond and see into the divine masculine. That is what drives the divine masculine away. Now, what causes the divine masculine to come out of this is finding within themselves some semblance of a seed of go get it attitude. I had it, I just didn't know how to flesh it out. I had not been taught the correct ways to flesh out this light within me. And it caused frustration. And the frustration, not having an avenue, eventually turned into a force field to which I would keep people out. And then again would be in the echo chamber of my own thoughts. And then just cycle after cycle. And this would repeat in different environments that I would find myself in. And I would find myself pushing people away. I would be around a bunch of people. I'd know a bunch of people know me. But still, there was this I'm alone type of feeling. In order for me to get out of that, I had to develop self-discipline, and my self-discipline came from that little piece of go get it, that little piece of willpower. It was, I know I had negative, but there was still some in there, because the spirit is not gonna let you go, right? As long as you choose to always hold out hope, the spirit will never let you go. It's waiting. And I had not given up hope. So I found a sliver of willpower, and I started doing a little bit here, a little bit there. And this just started to develop self-discipline. This is how the divine masculine is going to be able to make it out. This is the very first start. Number of 7, number of perfection. When somebody is in this, when they have full self-discipline and willpower, they can be equally yoked with somebody of the kingdom. All right. Ooh, I'm getting vulnerable in here, y'all. My head getting hot. Ow, fire. All right, bada bing, bada boom. Ooh, heavy energy, Big Daddy energy up here. You see me? Big Daddy energy up here. This self-discipline and willpower, it will start to develop courage. And that courage will start to mold itself as they begin to implement themselves more, as they begin to try more, as they begin to continue to search for different ways to get them to find ways to express themselves, and not being in this force field where they're not expressing themselves because they don't think they're anything, they're not worthy. The divine masculine sells himself way too short. Way too short. Because me sitting here looking back now as I'm discussing this vulnerable information with y'all, because I love y'all so much and I want y'all to see that there is hope still, and y'all should not ever, 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 ever lose faith. But at the same time, there's always something to be done. As I'm sitting here divulging all this information to y'all, I think about how far I've come, but how much of me I still am, and how my consciousness makes me think that I haven't changed that much, but how my environment and how my spirit feels now, it's completely different. So being able to sit here and express my light in this way to y'all, to illuminate the path, to bring y'all clarity and understanding, the divine masculine sells themselves far too short. And as soon as they realize that everybody else gets out of bed and puts on their drawers the same way they do, they'll begin to see that they're ready to take care of life and ready to take care of themselves, and see how much alchemy they can truly have, and see the fact that the magic that they use to keep people away and repel people and keep the divine feminine away is the same magic that they'll use to bring people towards them, right? It's a skill to create an energy where somebody feels involved, but they're also at a distance, right? It's a weird skill, but it is a skill. It's the ability to be outside of something, but still be involved in the thing. Now, what does that sound like? That sounds like the spirit of truth. We are in the world, but not of the world. We are set apart. Now look at that. You see what I'm talking about? So again, there is no need for the divine feminine to ever, ever, ever lose faith. If you ever waver in your faith, the adversary has you in his clutches. You bind him and you rebuke. Let's keep it moving. 7 says another 7. I got 717. Stand your ground. Choose your battles wisely. This is the part where the divine masculine knows that sliver in them is still there, even though they have negative self-talk themselves into a pit that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 body lengths deep, with no rope and no hope of getting out. Where there is a will, there is a way. As long as the divine masculine wants to get out of this hole, the universe will conspire to make it so. How about it rains so much that the pit begins to fill, and then the divine masculine can just wade to the top? How about somebody just walks by the pit and sees the divine masculine yelling for help, not giving up, using every last bit of energy to call out, hoping that somebody in the universe would hear them, and the universe conspires to make it so. In this same way, the divine masculine will be brought to the divine feminine. So the divine feminine need not worry because of 3D things that may be seen right now. The war is not in 3D. The war is not in 3D. It's not a 3D war. We wage that baby in the 5D against the spirits and the principalities. This is what we do. This is who we are. This is light workers. The divine masculine is a light worker. You sometimes, I feel like we, because I say you guys, you a lot, and I know it feels objective. Like, I'm in this too. We forget, right? Because sometimes I get off on my tangents and I talk like I wasn't at one point in an awakened divine masculine. But I understand the frustration and also the passion that comes with being on this journey, being a light worker, wanting everybody to be on the same page. I get where y'all are coming from. So we are in this together. The divine masculine sells themselves too short. And when they realize again that when everybody in this world wakes up and puts on their drawers the same way they do, they are going to start to be able to see themselves in a different light. And then that different light that they see themselves will start to spread. And this will illuminate the darkness that they've kept around them, that they've built around them on purpose to try to keep people away so that people won't see them if they're lurking around in the dark. Some of this sounds familiar, huh? The divine masculine is now going to be able to take that sliver within them and understand that it's there for a purpose and it's meant to be expressed, and that the not expressing it thus far has caused the life that they're currently living, that they're so unhappy with, that they're shielding people from. And when they realize that, it will emerge, like it will be like the freaking Big Bang. That was a good one. That's exactly what it's going to be like. It's going to be like the Big Bang. Like life is now being created. And that's exactly what's happening, because before this point, in the trap, while the divine masculine is in the trap, they're the walking dead. They are agents of the Matrix. They are asleep. All the fancy terms that y'all know to indicate that an individual is not where they're supposed to be spiritually. The divine masculine is that when they're in the trap, where they are that before they have their tower moment and have their reintroduction to the spirit of truth, till they align with the spirit of truth, until they move in the spirit of truth. So they'll be able to defend their beliefs and make better decisions when they make that response choice to the spirit of truth that they're going to be given. Because again, the spirit of truth does not leave any soldier behind. Straight up. And we are in a war with the darkness. You and I and the divine masculine that is currently in the darkness will come out, and then we will wage war against the darkness together. So there needs to be nothing but positive vibes for the allies that are still lost. And this is the approach that needs to be taken when we think about our divine masculine, because they are not only our other half, right? Not only our person, but they are an ally in the overall waging war of light versus dark. And as long as this is remembered, you'll have the correct thought process. You'll have the correct energy being sent towards the divine masculine. You'll have the right type of zeal about your life. Seek ye first the kingdom, everything else would be added unto you. Let's keep it pushing. Bada bing, bada boom. Tower moment. What did I say? What did I say? A tower moment. Now, what's interesting is that I got a 7, a 1, a 7, and then put these together, I get a what? A 7. Trip 7s? Huh? Did I hit the jackpot? Huh? What's gonna get the divine masculine out? Okay, self-discipline and willpower. Realizing that they are the same type of human being that they watch on TV in awe, and they're in awe of. They're the same type of human being. Realizing that what is in them that they're trying to express, that they are sometimes covetous and jealous of other people and envious of other people sometimes, which causes the wanting to stay away because they don't want to see them being green. They'll be able to make better decisions to flesh that out and defend who they are in the inside and let that light shine through. And what is the last thing that's required in order to get these bad boys out the trap? What is the last thing required for the reintroduction to the spirit of truth? That tower moment I've been talking about. Who called it? Who called it? Who knew it was coming? Who knew it was coming? I didn't know it was coming. I knew it. I know it's necessary. I didn't know it was coming out though. That's beautiful. Thank you to the spirit of truth for being just all the way through the energy of these cards. I freaking love it. I feel charged up. The electricity is real. Big Daddy energy around here. The spirit of truth is with us. You see me? There is absolute proof that what is needed to get the divine masculine out the trap is for the trap to crumble on them so that they can see that it did not have any foundation in the right stuff. They built their house on sand instead of on concrete. The concrete is the spirit of truth. The concrete is the King of Cups. That's what the King of Cups sits on, is the concrete, not the sand. The divine masculine so far has built their house on sand, and that's why they crumble when the interactions come around, when they have to keep up a certain face in the dynamic and they can't hold it up for too long because they built that on sand. You don't need that kind of individual anyway. They don't want you to have them. You shouldn't want you to have them. But what you should want is for that light within them to never dwindle away. What you should want is for them to, for you to send such positive vibes if you do think about the divine masculine, not for it to let you down, but to send such positive vibes their way that the universe just works in a way that it makes the divine masculine get up and get going. This is the kind of energy the divine feminine should wield. Big Daddy energy, the same kind of energy that you feel here is the same kind of energy as that within you at all points. You can access that with all times of the day. You just gotta get the connection to where the divine masculine is going to get to going, right? They're trying to get to go where you have been, in the light, doing light work, feeling good. The divine masculine is on the way there. They haven't been there because they have not been making the correct decisions. The decisions that they have been making have been keeping them in the trap. They will be freed. They cannot give up on themselves, and there is not enough wishing well power in the world for you to be able to make them want to. But there is the way that the universe works, right? With the energy, it doesn't get destroyed. It only gets transferred. You send those positive vibes out there, they will work in some way, right? And we can hope that the some way that they will work was to get the divine masculine up. But there is nothing more that you can do, right? Other than send those vibes. You can't jump in the divine masculine skin and move their body and think right for them. They have to do this on their own. And so far, they have not been doing that the correct way. And this is why they've been building a trap around themselves. And then sometimes the divine feminine gets caught in the trap. And then they get to start feeling this dark, gloomy cloudiness, start feeling depleted of energy. It's because they get caught in the trap that divine masculine has built. This is why it's necessary for this. This is why it's good that there is always work to be done. Because while the divine masculine is not doing the light work just yet, they are doing work on themselves by creating this trap so that they can eventually feel like, hey, this trap isn't where I want to be. And then they got to do what it takes to get out. So them building this trap is a part of them getting out of the trap, right? Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure that I covered that. This tower moment is the final straw of what the divine masculine is going to require before they have their breakout, their breakthrough into the light. They have to crumble. They have to fall. Their ideas of who they were, the ideas of how they related themselves to the world, all to the people in the world, all of this has to be done away with. It must be done away with. It is of no use to us, right? It's no good, as we've seen from evidence, right? The type of individual we needs to be in contact, we need to be here on the same wavelength. Not I'm coming this way, not we coming this way and they doing this. Nah, I ain't there. We don't need that. We got work to be doing. There is work to be done at all times. So if you think the connection is there and you go for the connection and then the connection is not made, go back to work. Simple equation. If the time comes again and you feel through proper discernment that you have been gifted with, so it would be a sin not to use it, right? And then to not use it and be hurt, that would be even worse. So use the intuition you were gifted with to truly discern if this person deserves an attempt at a connection again, because the first one did not work out. However, we do forgive people, right? We do expect people to grow because that's the only thing that's constant is change. And you got to increase in the right way. So we'll see, okay, discernment says not this time. Not this time. We'll connect a little later, maybe. Third time comes around, discernment says enough time has passed. A person, if they were truly trying to do the things that they themselves said that they wanted to do, surely we should see some type of transformation, metamorphosis, some type of motion into change from, right? We're not going to be dealing with this same person. So discernment says third time, okay, cool. Let's try to reconnect. If we're still here, it's not sit here and, oh, the divine masculine, no, don't woe about your partner. Don't woe about your light worker comrade, right? We need all the people that we can get in the fight of the light against the darkness. So don't, oh, it's okay. They still got more to go, more to grow. They still got to get out of their trap. The point for you, as in for the divine feminine, is to not get caught in the trap, is to go back to work. There's no problem with going back to work. There's a problem with not going back to work and also not being connected, because when we get connected, guess what? Now there's still more work. How? It's just exponentially grown. It's just magnified at this point. Pop, pop. Well, that was magnitude. Okay. Okay. Cool. Now, whoo, how y'all doing so far? This first little shindig. Y'all good? Y'all good still? All right. I'm loving y'all. Thank you so much. All right, up here, I see it's kind of hard to see. All right, I got the chariot. I was talking about how it's important for the divine masculine to cultivate self-discipline and willpower. And it's by finding that little sliver of light that's within them, because the reason I know it's still in there is because the spirit of truth never gives up on, never leaves a soldier behind, never gives up on anybody, right? As soon as the individual is broken down enough, right? And we got that over here showing too, as the last part of the process is the Tower card, the life experience. When they're broken down, they will be yearning for the light in the correct, genuine form. And at that point, the spirit of truth again reaches out, because again, never leaving a soldier behind, all love, all day, right? We just can't allow anybody to be up in our club though, right? In this VIP section of people that have their minds right. So when the divine masculine finds that little sliver and everything else is being done crumbled, they will have self-discipline and willpower, and they'll have to cultivate that in order to keep moving, to keep themselves moving from out of the trap and out of the trap altogether. And then here is just realizing that everybody is the same, and that the same people that they admire and aspire to be like, they just make a different set of decisions when they start their day than the divine masculine does. And when they realize that, they'll start to make proper decisions, and they'll be able to start manifesting them, and they'll realize that life is magical. Here we have the fact that they will, when they start moving in the way that they have come into the new perception that they are just like everybody else is just like them, but also different, because I know that's a kind of general statement, but saying that in the direct regard of the rich people put on their pants, the successful people dress the same way, that everybody gets dressed the same way is what I'm stressing, okay? So when they make these decisions, they'll be defending their beliefs and that light within them. They'll be defending the way they'll express that light. And now the ultimate conglomeration of all where the trap gets, the climax of the trap is the Tower moment. It's the Tower moment. And it's the final, the final straw that broke the camel's back, is what they say. It's a horrible thing. Now that I just said that out loud so slow while I'm speaking in the spirit of truth, that's terrible. I'm never gonna say that again. Okay. So yeah, that's the conclusion. Just a little quick recap up there. Do you appreciate the recap? Holla if you hear me. I love y'all so much. Thank you for being here. Like the video. There's 263 of y'all. There's only 110 likes. Please, please, please help the algorithm respect what we got going on here, and hit that like button. And also, if you like what we got going on here, hit the notification bell so you know when they're dropping, because again, being shadow banned is not cool, but we appreciate y'all, you know, searching for the truth and coming here to get it. We love you so much. Let's keep it moving. Whoosh. Wow. Okay. When they bust out, when we have the final, the final Tower moment, I was saying it right. When we have the final Tower moment, we will see a new beginning. We will see a brand new individual, right? And the reason that they're going to be brand new is because they are going to be reborn in the spirit of truth. They are going to die to their ego. They are going to die to their old self, and they are going to be reborn in the spirit of truth. They are going to have a new beginning. They are going to be able to look forward with optimism in a way that was not there before. This is going to do wonders. Listen to me. I'm speaking from experience, right? This is why we're here, to hear a divine masculine speak about the divine masculine experience. I'm speaking from experience when I say that this does wonders for the oomph, the drive, the momentum, the zeal, the way the mind, the electricity, all of it. It's the big bang. It's the big bang, right? Zero. There was nothing, and then there was something. Boom, right? I don't necessarily believe in the Big Bang. Y'all know my Lord and Savior is Jesus Christ. And so I believe that when God spoke, that itself was the Big Bang. And that's how big and strong my God is. Simit, moving right along. Let's hear it. The wishes come true. Concerns fade away. A love life. The divine masculine will. And put these together, I got 1 and 9 is a 10. Completion. That's perfect. Perfect. The divine masculine is going to be able to position themselves. They will be positioned where they can have a dynamic that's healthy. No longer are they going to be on the Heisman, keeping everybody on the outskirts, keeping everybody trying to throw darkness, trying to throw shade, right? That's a popular term, or it used to be anyway. I'm showing my age. Oh goodness, throwing shade to keep people away from them, to repel people, right? Or spazzing out sometimes. You know, you've been privy to some of this type of behavior before. You've seen the darkness in the divine masculine spaz out at times. You've seen it. This is what the trap makes the divine masculine act like. And me, being a divine masculine, having said that the trap is built by the thoughts of the divine masculine, I'm saying that the divine masculine treats you that way because of themselves, ultimately. They treat you that way because of the trap. They built the trap. They treat you that way because of themselves. The thoughts that they built that trap with are the same thoughts that they lash out at the divine feminine with. Completely undeserved, mind you. All right. But once that sandy home, right? Once that sandcastle, right? It's a tower, but some divine masculines, they got a little extra going on, right? Some of them got castles out here, but they're still sand castles. Right? They're still not grounded in the right thing. No matter what we got on the surface, it's all about the foundation. Period. Period. That's why a tower moment comes, to let people know that what they got going on, yeah, you got all this going on, but what's down here is not right. Your foundation upon which it was built is not correct. And it needs to be corrected so that we can have a brand new start, so we can refresh ourselves, right? When you call IT, when your equipment isn't working, what's the first thing they say? Unplug it, plug it back in, turn it off, turn it back on, right? That's the very first thing. Unplug the old divine masculine, dead, and no more. Plug them back into the correct source, to the Most High. And then we get a whole new, brighter light than ever before. And now this new, brighter light comes with a plethora of goodies, of fruits of the Spirit. Loving, kindness, gentle-heartedness, not quick-tempered, nice and calm, wise with the words, right? And that type of person is the person that is positioned to have a successful love life. Wishes come true. This points me back to the point where I said that I had negative self-discipline and willpower, but I still had dreams. I still had hopes, right? And even though the way I was going about it and the way I was treating people and the way to try to get there and the avenues that I was taking was the wrong way completely, I still had hopes and dreams. And now today they are realized through the Spirit of truth. Thank you, my Lord. Wishes come true. This same thing is happening for your divine masculine. And you know what that means? Your divine masculine is going to get to be with you because that is the divine masculine's wish. And it is not their wish to mistreat you. It is their wish to treat you. Some of you are aware that you have concerns when it comes to the divine masculine because of their trapped stage, because of the fact that they are acting the way they're acting pre-tower moment, reintroduction to the Spirit of truth, pre-alignment in the Spirit of truth. You have concerns. You're not sure if you can trust this individual or not. You're not sure if you can give them your cup or not. I'm seeing the Two of Cups in my mind in the Rider-Waite deck as I'm speaking about this. You're not sure if you can give them your cup or not. And for correct reasons, you have apprehension. However, I tell you that when the transformation is made, when the old is fallen away, is destroyed, is eradicated, and the new is reborn in the Spirit of truth, in the divine masculine, your concerns will also die. They will fade away. And you can be assured that a love life is on the way because your concerns have faded away. All right. Hey, Starseed, thank you for the donation. Very much appreciated. All right, let's keep it pushing. Oh, that's pretty. Come on now. We're talking about abundance. Abundance. A very happy family life, financial security, finding the magic in the little things in life. The magician, remember the magic I spoke about in this card was them realizing that the people that they admire, even the people that they're jealous of, even, right? Because that's the negative emotion of it, right? They are just like them. The only difference is a series of decisions that are made throughout the day. And as soon as they realize that, boom, there's their catalyst. There's their expansion moment. There is their first step on their way to a very needed tower moment to get us restarted so that you can be more at ease, because they are now embodying the spiritual truth, which means that they are loving, kind, gentle, compassionate, caring, giving, all of these things that are characteristics of an ambassador of the kingdom. Then we got finding more magic down here. Finding magic in the little things in life. Little realization makes the magic start, and then everything becomes magic. It becomes multiplied. It grows exponentially. 110, it grows exponentially. This is the first step. Realizing that we are all equal in some regard, in the fact that we are human, and that we all breathe the same air and bleed red blood. Once that realization is made, this is the first step to the divine masculine getting out the trap. Matter of fact, I want to slide this way, because that's what's gonna show them, that's what's gonna be able to be their beacon of willpower. That's where their willpower is gonna come from, is realizing that every person is just a human, and that the brain that they have is a brain, and I have a brain, and that they can do with that with their brain, what can I do with my brain? That realization, that perception change is going to pay dividends in the form of opulence and abundance in the life of the divine masculine. Stella Shakti, thank you so much for the donation. Very much appreciated. All right, let's keep it rolling, rolling, rolling. What? Rolling, rolling, rolling. Decisions, decisions, decisions. It says, speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice. Balance mental and emotional considerations. This is your divine masculine. In these 4 words right here: brilliant, impartial, professional, diplomatic. This is your divine masculine. There is 0, 9, 10 king. The first step is realizing that they have ability. That nobody, even the ones that they admire, nobody is different from them. First step. Next step, self-discipline in order to be able to cultivate the brain power, willpower to see it through. Staying on course. Old ideals falling away so that new ideals can be replaced, i.e. spirit of truth. Now notice 0 and then the quickening. 9, 0, 9. 10, king. The quickening is so real. The expansion, the increase, the catapult forward, the booster on the ground of the game of Sonic that is the life of the divine masculine when they come to the alignment within the spirit of truth is going to be so mind-bogglingly unreal that it's going to be just that, unreal. You're not gonna recognize this person. Right? One of 2 ways. Either they'll be the same exact person, just with new life in them, new light in them, or this person was never that person in the first place. But still see that the spirit of truth is never going to leave anybody behind. That even if this wasn't the person, that they're still going to be able to be set free from their trap. The divine masculine deep down is a decision maker. The divine masculine deep down is a playmaker. They are a force in this world. And the trap is thinking that what they have to say is not anything of value, and what they think is nothing that is of value. And this is the greatest lie that the devil tells the divine masculine, and that the divine masculine believes, and then the divine masculine also believes that it comes from them, that these thoughts, these self-defeating, self-deprecating, negative self-talk, fear-based thoughts come from. They think it comes from them, when in reality, we all know it comes from the adversary. Right? Why think negative? Why think thoughts of fear? Because they come from the adversary. Because the adversary is putting them in their mind. And the divine masculine believes these lies because the adversary uses the voice of the divine masculine against themselves. So in that way, the divine masculine thinks it's their own thoughts. The adversary disguises his voice as the divine masculine's voice, and uses the divine masculine's voice to speak to the divine masculine. So the divine masculine thinks that it's their own self thinking these negative thoughts. And then since they think it's their self, they believe themselves. And there starts the building of the trap. And the only reason that happens is because there was never an established connection to divine. There was never an established connection to God. And that's how the devil slips in. Because if the divine masculine was right with God, right in the spirit of truth, the devil would have no way in. The space would be occupied to the fullest with light. To the point where the divine masculine now goes out on missions to eradicate the light in the land for the Creator. Because this is what they were designed to do. Yo, I see so far that the spirit don't even want me talking negative at all. Because there is nothing that can keep the divine masculine in this position other than the divine masculine not thinking one positive thought in the right way. They can and they will be saved if they want to be saved. The spirit of truth will never leave a soldier behind. When they get to their wits' end, listen to me, I'm speaking from experience. This was my life. When they get to their wits' end, the spirit will present itself. And it will present itself in a way that makes the individual turn from the way that they used to be. And it starts with and ends with their mind. Because again, the thoughts, the negative self-thoughts, the negative fear-based thoughts is what constructed the trap. So correct, positive-based, kingdom thoughts will destroy the trap and destroy their sandcastle so that they can be rebuilt upon the rock of grace in the spirit of truth. Okay. All right, let's bust it down. Two more. Whopping. This is the goal. This is it. This is where we're getting to. 11-11, right? On both sides, 11-11 for fire. That's the goal. That's where we're going to get to. This is where we're leading, right? This is the life of the divine masculine coming out of the trap. Contentment, peace, abundance, a happy home life, a love life. Would you look at this? Would you look at somebody that's finally able, with the right mindset now, right? With the old mindset being washed away, with the new mindset being solidified in the spirit of truth. Can we see how this is good for business in the form of relationships I'm talking about? Good for business, good to go, all day, every day. Before this, not so much, but now here, sure, why not? I'm okay with that. Absolutely. All right, now, last one. Whoosh. Here we go. Now is the time for Hope. How interesting is it that these are opposing cards? 4, 5, and then fire and water. These are opposing cards. This is all of this. Listen, your divine masculine must be on their game, because all of this will be thwarted by not thinking the right way. It all starts with remembering that everybody's the same and that everybody's got a brain and that their brain can be used to the max too. So what's needed now is hope. What's needed now more than ever is hope. Let me see here. Not seeing the positive in the situation. Things may not have turned out the way they expected. Be careful not to focus too much on the negative, as there's positive in every situation. You may be missing the silver lining. Fighting or trying to ignore change doesn't serve you. See that? See that? The divine masculine. Ignoring the fact that this is coming, this tower moment is coming, doesn't serve them. It's not going to serve them. Instead, have faith that everything happens for a reason. It sounds like you can use this advice too. Have faith that everything happens for a reason. Remember earlier I was talking about the vibes that you send out to the divine masculine, right? Make sure that they're positive. Everything happens for a reason. The situations that you're upset at are happening for a reason, right? It's just your perception of it and how you're relating your perception to yourself that's how you make you feel the way you feel about the situation. But the universe doesn't make any mistakes. So curb your emotional relation to the things outside of yourself, because the universe operates perfectly, because the universe was set in motion by God. So, I gotta realize and remember that, and at least have faith that everything happens for a reason. If you don't know it, have faith that everything happens for a reason. It's healthy to grieve what's been lost and take the time to heal. This is in relation to the way that they used to be. I don't know why they would want to do that, but sure. Cool. Cool. Oh, snap. There it is. Obsession. Ooh. That's the downfall. Obsession. The reason that that one word out of that whole thing was the downfall is because if the divine masculine is obsessed with these negative self-thinking, if they are complacent in where they are, if they're fine where they are in danger. They're in danger of continuing to be the unhappy individual that they are. They're in danger of never growing spiritually, never growing and maturing emotionally, because they're obsessed with the darkness. But once this obsession is realigned in the spirit of truth, again, that expansion is going to be something that knocks off socks. It's going to be, boy, whoa, wow, whoa, wowzers, whoa, didn't even know. Wowzer, wee-ha. The divine masculine right now is obsessed with negative self-talk and fear-based thoughts. They are obsessed with their ego. This is why a tower moment is required. Because right now, they're relying on the voice of their ego. And again, it's deceptive as hell, because the voice that the adversary uses is the divine masculine's voice. So when the divine masculine says, I'm not worthy, I'm not worth anything, I don't have anything of value, I am not valuable, that is the devil lying to them from the pits of hell, which are in the minds of the divine masculines, if not properly maintained with the correct dosage of light in them, balancing them out. The devil is not a little red man with horns and a fork and pitchfork and a tail. He is the invisible thoughts. He represents the negative. He represents every falsity, every lie, every deception, every fear-based thought comes from the devil. But the problem with people is they can't discern that, because the devil is using their own voice against them. And this is the trap that the divine masculine is in. They will be able to break out of this if they make a series of correct decisions. I want to take a brief moment to say that if this reading has resonated, go ahead and get you a one-on-one session from MrLightWork.com. The divine masculine needs to make a series of correct decisions that are in response to the prompting of the Spirit of Truth. There is a little voice in the mind of the divine masculine that they ignore because of all the yelling voices telling them that they are not enough, confusing them as to what they need to do, who they are, why they are here. The adversary is on them, and the divine masculine is not on point. And that is why they are in the trap. When a series of decisions made in response to the prompting of the Spirit of Truth are made, the divine masculine will be able to crumble and crush their ego, which is what, if you have been hurt by the divine masculine, is what you have been hurt by, the ego, their negative or fear-based thoughts that made them react the way that they did in that certain situation that you're referring to right now mentally. Their ego, their way they think made them do that, not you. It was an ill response because of their emotional, spiritual immaturity that caused that knee-jerk reaction, and they said those horrible things. That was the devil using them to get at you. Don't allow that. Don't create that space. There is always work to be done. You can always reconnect at any time when you discern that your divine masculine has changed. Not when you hope and pray and they're gonna try anyway, regardless, and know you see it from a distance. You can feel it, divine feminine. You have been blessed with intuition. You hear me? You have been blessed with intuition. And it hurts the most when you ignore it. and pain comes. It hurts worse because you knew better. The divine masculine will make a series of decisions when the pressure gets on them hard enough, and it is not pressure that comes from the divine feminine. I want to make that abundantly clear. The universe will apply the pressure, right? God made the universe. The universe will apply pressure. God will apply pressure to the divine masculine to move them down the period of growth, the path of growth, the journey of growth, to get them to crumble who they have been so that they can be used in the spirit of truth for great things. The same obsession that they have right now with this negative fear-based, this obsession that they have with their ego, it will need to be replaced. What does it need to be replaced by? Hit me in the chat. Go, go, go. I'll give somebody, I don't know what I'm gonna give you. Let me see if anybody get it right first. It needs to be replaced by. Okay, that's too long. The spirit of truth. That's what it needs to be replaced by. The spirit of truth will give way to, yes, exactly what y'all are saying now. Love, kindness, self-love, all that. The reason they lack that, the reason they lack self-love is because they lack the spirit of truth. The spirit of truth brings purpose, brings meaning to life. The divine masculine does not know who they are right now. That's why they don't love themselves, because they don't know who they are. They don't know who to love. I'm telling you from experience. I'm telling you from experience. I'm a man that said, I can't love you because I can't even love myself. I don't even love myself. How can I love you? Those were words that I have said to, and another person was on the other side of them receiving those words. So I speak from experience. Your divine masculine will be nudged lovingly towards the light. Listen to me one more time. Your divine masculine will be nudged towards the light. If your divine masculine is not on the path to the light or not in the light, it's because your divine masculine is obsessed with the darkness and their ego and the devil. They do what they want to do instead of doing what they're supposed to do, which is moving in the spirit of truth. They want to do what they want to do. That is a child of Satan. The opposer, opposing the spirit of truth, walking in light, allowing way for self-love to flow through and true, to make it to somebody and permeate through to somebody else. The divine masculine is in a trap with the devil. The devil is talking to them in their own voice, telling them they're not enough, telling them that they're just going to mess everything up again, telling them that they're going to hurt you, telling them, and because the devil is using their voice to tell them these things, they end up actually doing these things when they don't want to. They don't want to. But yet, they show themselves, they present themselves as less than they could be more times than not. And it is overly frustrating. To the divine masculine as the individual incapable of moving past their ego to speak in their truth and reality. And also to the divine feminine that is the victim of the ego speaking and acting in a manner that is being initiated by the devil using the voice of the divine masculine against the divine masculine. That is why accurate thinking for the divine masculine is so necessary. And that's why the first accurate thought is, there's no difference. I can choose anything that I want and also be great at it. There's no difference between me and anybody else. I just got to know what God gifted me with, what the Spirit of Truth gifted me with. That's all the other people that I admire figured out. When they make this shift and become obsessed with this shift, obsessed with the Spirit of Truth, y'all are not going to be able to recognize your divine masculine. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know. Fire Grace still slip up sometimes and says stuff to me that I know she's talking to the old version of me that has not been around for a while. But habit. I was that way for a while. I have to be this way for a while. And I have to be patient because I made her look at me in that way. So I can't have any type of ill feelings towards the way that I made my divine feminine. That would be that illogical. That doesn't make sense. There is going to be exponential growth for the divine masculine. Exponential growth for the divine masculine when they get out of the trap. All right. Cool little frozen beans. If this reading resonated, go get you a one-on-one session at MrLightWork.com. I also have phone calls. I also have personal insight videos where you write me an email and I will send you a video that looks something like this. And I will just respond. And then we also have live readings as well, where it'd be a similar situation just like this, but it's just you and me. And, we'll get down to the nitty gritty. All the information is here. If you need something for personal to figure out your path, to figure out what your divine masculine got going on, visit MrLightWork.com. I have a multitude of ways for us to get in contact. Thank you guys so much. Like the video on the way out. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Yeah, we just gonna chop it up in the chat section. The reading has concluded. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bow. Go to MrLightWork.com. Get you a reading. MrLightWork.com. Go to MrLightWork.com. I got love letters for separation. I got love letters for reunion, what your divine masculine is going to sound like, what type of character they'll be like, what type of energy they'll give off. You could get that in a love letter. If you haven't heard from your divine masculine, you can hear from them in a separation love letter. Divine masculine readings, divine feminine readings, 6556 right now on the website, MrLightWork.com. .com. I appreciate y'all being here. Like the video on the way out, please and thank you. I'll be here a little later on. My divine feminine fiery grace will be on live later on. I appreciate y'all being here, man. Thank you so much. I love y'all. Move in the spirit of truth, and you will move right. All right. Yeah. Cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. Like the video on the way out. Like the video on the way out. Help the algorithm respect us. Leave a like for the algorithm to respect us. Appreciate y'all. Love you very much. See you guys next time. Love.